Hey everybody, Daver here, and with me, Chad and Chandler. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hi, guys.
Hi guys! Man, I'm so excited for Collision! Yeah! Screw Dynamite. We're just gonna talk about how excited we are for Collision for the next 2 hours. Unironically, though, Mariah May and Harley Cameron will be pretty good. I think that one will be a fun one.
Yeah, that'll be good. I can't remember any of the other matches for Collision other than Jericho and Dax.
So they only have 3 on their page, and Cope, whoever that is, and Big Bill. That'll be fun. Like that'll be a fun one. Yeah. But like that's a lot of learning tree on Collision for me. And I do like Big Bill and Brian Keith, but that's a lot of learning tree.
True.
Yeah, you can only learn so much.
So are we back to the reviews then?
Yeah.
Retro views?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
I'll come up with a good one. The real good one. Or we can just do the first Dynamite.
So the Oba feminists are eating well this week.
Oh, we are. Also, Julia won too, but Oba Femi won the world title of NXT, but it's the world title. I'm so excited.
Stephanie Vaquer won the #1 contender spot too.
Yeah.
For the
American.
Yeah, the North American women's one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But and still, the Lex Offenders also eating well.
Yeah, is he still the Heritage Cup?
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm a registered Lex Offender through and through.
Ryan Alvarez was so upset that Ava made him redo that match. Did you guys watch that?
You had to get back the cup too, and that's what he was also mad about. Is he was like, I can't believe that he would have to give it back.
She's the worst GM in history, according to him. I love it.
Oh, the laptop was worse. Come on. Let's not kid ourselves. That laptop will always be the worst.
Wait, wasn't Eugene GM at one point?
Yeah, he was. I don't think it was for very long. It might have been like a GM for a night, but I'm pretty sure he was.
Oh my. Okay.
Dave, you missed out on so much on the late 2000s, early 2010s WWE. Oh, we should go back and watch some of that. Ooh, Miz and Cena at Mania. Anything else? Like, it's all kind of the same.
Yeah, I'm sure it was pretty fun. Yeah. But yeah, let's see here. Malakai Black gone?
Actually leaving for real this time. We swear.
Yeah.
How long until he shows back up in WWE? Is it the Rumble? Is it just going to be the Rumble?
Man, I don't know. Is it going to be used well there, do you think?
I mean, last time he sat in a room and cut promos about nobody wanting to fight him for about a year.
He was too cool. But now, I mean, Triple H always loved Aleister Black back then, so I'm sure he'll use him pretty well.
Okay. And he'll be with his wife.
That'll be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, the negative feelings about Raw just continue to come in. I keep watching reviews of it. 4 matches in 3 hours. Like, people are talking about how they didn't have anybody who's gonna have a match next week on the show. Like, they
Chad Gable, not to Erm actually, but he did get a backstage promo.
Yeah.
But that's pretty fucking shitty. Like, I'll be honest, that's pretty slim. What I've seen is, right, WWE really wanted to go mainstream with this, and they did for the Hogan booing, which is very funny. And have you heard the rumored number for how many households watched Raw?
It's like 4 million.
Oh, was it really? I didn't see that. I saw 600,000, but I'm pretty sure that one was wrong. I haven't been able to fact check it anywhere. But I've also heard that they're not just they're just not going to show the numbers because they don't have to.
Yeah, fair.
But
Fair
hey,
enough.
if they did 4 mil, who guessed it?
Yeah, but we don't know. We don't know if it's real or not. We never will. We never can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Let's see here. Yeah, Dynamite. It happened. It was okay. From watching Raw and then going to Dynamite, it was a lot different
Flew
pace.
by.
Flew
Yeah,
by.
no, it was a good Dynamite. I'm just curious. I'm curious as to see what we're doing going forward. And like I said it before we started recording, it was a lot of like what I wanted last week. I feel like it's the monkey paw of it. Like, oh
Yeah.
man, I wanted Hobbs to be featured more and to win more matches than squash matches and go for titles, and I did get that. I'm just like, ooh, did I mean that? Is that what I wanted? I don't know. But overall, like especially the gauntlet match, that was fun. Briscoe and Lashley was pretty fun.
Yeah.
And I liked the three-way as well. That was pretty good. And Kenny Omega, of course, had a
even
good promo.
to your point with the whole monkey's paw thing too. I was like, oh, dude, they're going to use Private Party on Dynamite. This is awesome. Maybe they're going to the Hurt Syndicate. Oh, man. Like, this is lose-lose. Like, either Private Party drops the belts to them and goes back to where they were 5 years ago, or the Hurt Syndicate gets it. Nobody wants those belts right now.
Yeah. I completely forgot about that. And I was like, I want to be excited because I like at least Shelton Benjamin and I like Private Party, and they were on Dynamite, but they totally got usurped by the Hurt Syndicate. And
Yeah.
It's like, ooh.
I'll let it
made them
play
look
out.
bad.
Hopefully, hey, you never know. Private Party might win that match. They might pin Shelton Benjamin.
Maybe they'll pin MVP.
Ooh.
Even better. But before we get into the show, I'm going to remind everyone out there, do us a big old favor, baby. Elbow drop that like button, power bomb that subscribe button, and leave a comment. We want to know what you're thinking. Did you enjoy Dynamite? Did you enjoy Raw? Did you hate Raw? Were you one of the few people who cheered for Hulk Hogan?
I famously did when we did our live reactions to it.
Yeah.
One quick thing about Raw, it wasn't all bad, right? There were some good matches. It's just really fucking hard to get through. Like, and maybe that's just because I haven't watched I want to say I haven't watched a live Raw in a while, but I went to Raw in Portland a couple months ago, and it was super fun. Like, it was a blast, and 3 hours went by so quickly. So I don't know how Raw could, and I know I was there, but like I've also been to boring wrestling shows, and those are a slog to get through. So it's like, I don't know. I don't get it. How did it why did the production go up and everything went down? I couldn't imagine like being there and like, oh, it's about to start Roman Reigns and Sokola, or Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, and then we got to stop for a commercial break. So that's literally how it started. So I don't know. Sorry. Let's talk about Dynamite. Dynamite was pretty dang good.
Yeah. We got a cold open. Even with that, I was still very excited and I couldn't hide it. Ironically enough. We had Ian Riccaboni on commentary, no Shivani. He's not suspended for telling the New Japan commentator to go F himself. I like Ian Riccaboni quite a bit, actually. I'd rather have him than Excalibur.
He'd be a dope play-by-play guy.
Ian Riccaboni, Nigel McGuinness, Tony Schiavone, all in one booth. Oh. And then you put Taz and Excalibur and Daddy Magic on Collision. And I think that would be actually kind of funny because I feel like they'd all like play off each other. Like Taz and Daddy Magic would just kind of bicker, and Excalibur would be like, "Oh, guys, can we get back into the match, please? It's very epic. And they're like, whoa, well, Dynamite is stupid. And they're like, no, Taz is stupid. Come on. That's great. That's a great idea.
Would be good. It would be good. But we open up the show with Will Ospreay versus Buddy Matthews, not Buddy Murphy. uh this is a little revenge for Buddy Matthews for Brody King for his loss in the C2. We start out Buddy he hangs with Ospreay pretty well to start the match out. A lot of back and forth, fun stuff, counters, diving. They cross body each other. They both go down. Buddy Matthews dives on Ospreay on the floor. Then a beautiful Meteora in the ring for a near fall. Buddy counters a hidden blade with a rising knee strike, but gets a hidden blade anyway, but he kicks out. Buddy hits a GTS, but it was like Ospreay was flipped around,
Yeah.
so he need the back of Osprey's head. I've never seen it done like that.
Yeah,
That
Looked
was
pretty
kinda cool.
devastating.
Trying to put a little style on it.
Yeah, it was good. Then a curb stomp for a near fall. I love that curb stomp. It's very nice. Buddy Matthews kicks out of a Styles Clash, but then takes a hidden blade. Ospreay gets the win. Great match. After the match, Ospreay calls Buddy Matthews Buddy Murphy. He says King and Matthews don't need a leader. And he could get tag gold or singles gold. Ospreay offers to be in Buddy's corner if he needs it. It's interesting.
Didn't he just offer to be in Darby's corner like a couple minutes ago? Also, I did not know that the Death Riders killed Darby. They didn't tell me that. They didn't say it on World's End. Yeah. Like, I'm kind of like, it blew my mind that I was like, where the hell is Darby? He was like, oh, I'm going to take out the Death Riders after the C2, and then he lost. And as a viewer who only got to watch World's End and had to unfortunately skip out on the last two episodes because I was a little busy on the holidays. Like, a lot of people are busy on the holidays. They might miss those episodes, especially the Rampage. And so it's like, here I was thinking Darby was a bitch because he was going to go and attack Moxley. But turns out, no, in storyline, he was killed by them. And they just forgot about it last week. They forgot about it at World's End. And I was kind of pissy about it. Like, I didn't know. I didn't even know.
That's fair. Yeah. That probably would have been a good thing to highlight.
Yeah, because I thought, like, oh, are they just going to start the Sting storyline now? Like, is he all brooding now or more brooding? But no, he died. So thanks, AEW. But back to this match. It was a pretty fun match. I found out about it a couple days ago, and I got really excited about it, especially because it was right after Raw. And I was like, I need a good Will Ospreay match right now. And I'd say this one delivered. I kind of wish it had a little more time because I felt like it was really quickly already getting into the last stretch of the match where they were going for their finishers, but it was still a pretty fun match. And then the idea of Ospreay, King, and Buddy all teaming up together, it's pretty interesting.
Maybe we can get a faction, huh?
Ooh.
Yeah. No, I love that one little moment where after that the Styles Clash with Buddy Murphy like kind of sits up and just looks at him like, well, here comes the end.
Mm-hmm.
that I thought, yeah, it was a well done match, and like that weird reverse GTS into the stomp was incredible. I thought that was good. So yeah, I was happy. Like you said though, I think they could have went even a little harder. Like it was a good Ospreay match, but both these guys could go. Bring it and notch it up. Maybe Will's still a little sore after 2 5-star matches in one night.
Yeah, I'll give him a little credit. You know, he did just have a killer performance at World's End. But this is all just saying, do it again in a couple months. Like,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. set it up on a pay-per-view. Give it like a 30-minute pay-per-view match. It'd be wonderful.
True.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind Osprey and Buddy being a tag team. That'd be pretty sick. But yeah, we'll see how that plays out. It might be pretty fun. Chandler, you were talking about Darby and a little bit about Sting. I did read Sting trademarked Old Man Sting. Probably a
Nice.
play on Old Man Logan. ah,
Is
I'm
Sting taking on the Death Riders? A
I'm here
year
for
on
it.
from his retirement. He's back one more time to save AEW. And we're just like, I thought this was about the young folks stepping up. Like, I love Sting, but what about the young ones?
Yeah, it'll just keep progressing and getting sillier and sillier until Flair comes out of retirement.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, what are you doing here? I'm going to take out Moxley, and I've brought company too. Jake the Snake Roberts,
Yeah,
and
Dory Funk.
Dory Funk, Ric Flair, all these 80-year-old men, they're all on their little crutches going down, and Moxley's like, he's like, oh no. And then they're like, we got one more guy. Da, 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 da. Of course it's Hogan. He gets in there, brother.
Boo!
Oh, speaking of Moxley, did you guys see South Korea voted on their like best and worst of the year, right? And it was really interesting. You know what their worst was almost like every single time? Was anything in John Moxley. Worst wrestler, Moxley. Worst worker, Moxley. Worst title run, Moxley with the IWGP belt. Like
That's
worst,
fair.
like everything, right? And they put for their worst pay-per-view, they put Wrestle Dream. And I was like, hey, I know I was there, but Wrestle Dream was pretty damn good. And I was thinking about it, why would they hate Wrestle Dream of all things? Well, it's because Moxley killed Danielson in the main event and won the title. And that's how it ended. So I was like, oh, that just sour. It's just crazy how, like, I don't know how many people in South Korea voted, but like they all just hate Moxley right now. And I don't blame them. I just hate this story, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I would have never knew that.
I know it's like I should find it and read it out for you. It's crazy. In a little bit.
Then we get a little recap video package of Wrestle Dynasty. Then we get a private party segment. Good to see Private Party. They're on the stage. They're having a little celebration. They've said they made history, being having the first tag title defense simulcasted on Max and TNT, and they came out victorious. They're ready to celebrate, but are interrupted by the Hurt Syndicate. Ooh. MVP wants to raise a toast to Private Party. Bobby Lashley says he here's to the Hurt Syndicate taking the tag team titles. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. So that's gonna happen.
There's a
I
reason
guess.
only MVP talks, because like Lashley was like, we're gonna take the tag titles. And it's like, don't talk, Lashley, please, for the love of God, don't talk. I'm not happy. Like, I'll be happy if Private Party wins, but then it's like, do we want the Hurt Syndicate to lose? Like, I don't know. I'm so torn up about this. I don't know how to feel. Like, why not do like
it's your monkey's paw analogy, man. They just like
this is the monkey's paw Dynamite. Sorry.
Yeah, like here's a bunch of pretty cool ideas, and we're just gonna make you dread what's gonna happen.
I want Shelton Benjamin to win a title. Okay. I want Private Party to have a major feud. Okay.
Why can't Shelton Benjamin just go after the TNT title like we thought was going to happen?
They teased.
We're going to have a pretty bad discussion about Daniel Garcia. I think this TNT title run has failed. I know it's a little early, but like, dude is doing everything but defending the title, and it's getting a little annoying. He's defending it once, right? With the Briscoe. All the C2 didn't defend it. And then he's in this gauntlet match. He's going for other titles. Why not defend yours? I like the TNT title. I want to see matches. Like, I was like, well, you can't do worse than Jack Perry. He might be doing worse than Jack Perry. And I can't believe I'm saying that.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, after Lashley calls out Private Party, we get Bobby Lashley versus Mark Briscoe. Bobby pummels Briscoe in the ring, then on the floor. Briscoe ends up under the ring at one point. Lashley goes looking for him. Briscoe hits him with a chair from underneath the ring. Uh, Briscoe does his patented chair dive on Lashley to the floor. Briscoe hits a froggy bow, but Lashley kicks out at 1. Lashley wins with the Hurt Lock. Pretty straightforward match. Briscoe didn't really stand a chance. MVP was super pissed about Briscoe using the chair. That was pretty fun, wasn't it, Jed?
Yeah. We need more MVP every week. The dude just he gets me. I love how he sells. He's cheating. He's cheating. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I thought this match was probably my favorite on the show just because I had a lot of fun. This reminded me of when Brock Lesnar would wrestle a little guy and he'd give him like, oh, he'd take the beginning and then they'd do something slightly heelish and then he'd sell their ass for him. And then, of course, he'd come back and win. So it reminded me of one of those. Excuse me. I thought they both did a good job. And every time I watch Briscoe, especially since the C2, I'm always like, this guy's in my top 10 in AEW. He's so good.
Yeah, he is a hoot. Like he's like one of those guys who I always feel like he just has fun going out there and he can do some incredible stuff. But yeah, no, that I couldn't buy on any of the near falls, but I still had a good time. And I don't know. The one thing I would have liked to see is maybe just have Lashley come off as even a little more vicious. Like he should have just did something just dastardly and effed up.
Yeah. Either Briscoe get more and it's a competitive match, or Lashley, it's like a 3-minute match. There's no commercial break. Lashley just eats him up real quick. So kind of just felt 2 in the middle, but it was a fun one.
Yep. After Lashley's win, the Hurt Syndicate go to attack Briscoe, but Private Party run out and make the save, carrying chairs. So yeah, we're getting that match.
I'll wait and see. Let's see how that feud goes. If they get a feud.
Yeah, maybe it'll just be a squash.
Private Party squash, right?
Yep. Gin and juice. Done. Then we get our long-awaited Casino Gauntlet battle match. It really didn't do it for me like I was hoping it was going to do.
It was fun, but like I think it was their worst one yet, which is fine because it was still a fun moment, like a fun match. Like Ricochet had a really fun entrance where Hangman was standing alone in the ring, and then it was Swerve's house, and he was like, what? And then he went, bitch. And then it was Ricochet. I thought that was pretty funny. By the way, this match had the worst commentary call I've ever heard in my entire life, and it might have killed the Swerve Ricochet feud. Are you guys ready? At least for me.
Do the thing.
Ricochet walking up into the ring, and they're obviously talking about the dastardly thing he did to Swerve a week ago, right? And then Excalibur piped up, and Ricochet showed Swerve that scissors beat paper every time. And I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, I'm not even thinking of that. I was like, Swerve put the toilet paper on Ricochet because the fans threw toilet paper at Ricochet at the collision. Christmas collision, not C2, whatever, right? And then Swerve did it to him. It was funny. And then I just kind of assumed that Ricochet stabbed him with scissors because they were sharp and it was a good visual. and it's like, oh, a nice gold pair of scissors. It makes him feel even more like a Patrick Bateman-esque psychopath. So if this whole fucking feud is about rock, paper, scissors, I'm out. I am out. Like,
So
and
is
I was,
Dwayne Johnson coming in?
it's a three-way. This is how we get. This is how we get to that AEW WWE
Some
dream.
musical hit, then you're
Yeah.
thinking, oh, is this The Rock coming out? And it'll be Rock Juice Robinson.
No, I'm not against that, but yeah. So I literally had to write that down word for word because I was like, Excalibur, you should be ashamed of yourself. I was so interested in this feud, and you just killed it. Obviously, I'm still going to be interested in it, but that was so bad.
That could have been a Mauro Ranallo callback when he was trying to shoehorn in bad pop culture references every 3 minutes.
Yeah, but like Mauro Ranallo at least has like a little bit of like, oh, you're trying, man. Good, like I want to give Mauro Ranallo more of a chance than Excalibur, and I don't know why.
Oh man. So we got our Casino Gauntlet match. First guy in, Jay White. Second guy, Hangman Page. Jay counters a buckshot lariat and a deadeye. Page stops a Blade Runner. Third man in, Wheeler Yuta. White gives him a Blade Runner immediately. I like that. Fourth guy in, Ricochet fakes us out with the swerve music. Ah, bitch.
Uh-huh.
Fifth man, Adam Cole. That was okay. Like I was okay. It's no more MJF, so maybe we can.
I thought Adam Cole was just fine. I had nothing wrong with him in this match. I don't care about him or the conglomeration or whatever his group is other than Roddy, but like I didn't actively wish for him not to be on my screen, which is a big improvement.
Yeah. Then we got Daniel Garcia in. He did a cool thing where he stacks up Page, Cole, and Jay White in the corner and does the 1, 2 head punches to him. That was kind of neat.
That was fun.
Seventh guy in, Powerhouse Hobbs. Good to see him. He throws everyone around. Roderick Strong is seventh guy in. Roddy, Cole, and Garcia team up for a bit on Ricochet. Eighth guy in, Lance Archer. Him and Hobbs toss Ricochet back and forth to each other. We get a little meat match out of that. Ninth guy in, Kyle O'Reilly. And he's still got a conglomeration intro. Weird.
He's in two factions. He gets to be in two factions, I guess.
Okay, fair enough. Adam Cole, Roddy, and O'Reilly are all working together. 10th guy in, my boy, Double J, Jeff Jarrett. I love it.
He great.
I just had a thinky real quick. You know how Don Callis family and LFI had a talent swap or whatever? Why didn't they just do a talent swap and give Wardlow to the conglomeration? Wouldn't that be funny? Like Mark Briscoe and Ishii are like, and then like Wardlow's just like, what is wrong with you guys? And they're like trying to win, and they're all like, like they're doing their kung fu, and he's like, I'm so sick of this, but like for some reason I have to be in this. I know that's using Wardlow, which is a sin in AEW, but and that's not like a main event push. That's just fun.
Yeah. Yeah, good idea. I like it.
Sorry, that just came to my mind. I'm rethinking like tropes they used once when they could have just said, Brian Cage and Lance Archer and the Don Callis family. They had to like make it make sense. And I want them to keep doing that for stories.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to LFI? Are they like on Rampage or something?
Apparently, there's some heat on Roosh and Dralistico. They had their last match they were in. Can't. It was like some jobbers or something, and Roosh was like too stiff with him, and like he was getting medical attention, and Roosh like attacked him while he was doing that. And
Oh,
there's
geez.
apparently something more deeper into this than what they want us to believe. Apparently.
Well, that's unfortunate. Hopefully they can figure that out.
Yeah, maybe Roosh
I
wants to go be with his brother.
maybe.
Anyway, 10th guy in, Jeff Jarrett. Yuta attacks Jeff Jarrett on the ramp and fights him all the way in the back, takes him out of the match. Uh, and I believe I heard a brief undisputed chant. Did you guys hear that?
No, maybe someone was trying to start it. I didn't hear it.
And it wasn't long. But Hobbs gives O'Reilly a big spine buster for the win. Hobbs versus John Moxley at Maximum Carnage.
Uh-oh. We lost Dave.
He ain't winning that.
Hello?
No.
I hear Dave. I still see him.
Oh, you do? Oh.
Yeah.
Now I hear you.
Oh, I think Dave and I lost each other.
Oh, that's
Yep.
weird.
I don't even know what happened. But yeah, Mox and Hobbs at Maximum Carnage. I think I just want to have this discussion. And I'm not saying like, oh, Moxley's dangerous. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying it's interesting that they're already doing Moxley and Hobbs so early after that was the match where Hobbs got injured and like lost all that time. Again, they do that all the time in wrestling. Like, oh, this guy injured him and he comes back and he beats him up. I just think it's odd that we're doing it so quickly. But again, I don't know what else to do for this pay-per-view. Like,
Yeah, no, and there's zero in doubt of what the outcome's going to be because we're already looking for. I had to like Cope, probably Darby. Like, I
yeah,
don't know. Feels like it kind of just throwing the guy to the wolves. Like, hopefully we'll get a good match, and it's cool that he's getting some spotlight. But I don't know. I'd like to be able to suspend my disbelief a little. I think he's got a shot at winning.
I think the most I can hope for to keep Hobbs looking strong would be a DQ.
and there's so many DQs in the storyline. I just don't. I agree with you, Dave. I don't want him to take a pin, but I also don't want a DQ. So I don't think I would have booked this match unless you're just going like people keep asking for just a balls to the wall, pick a new guy. We're picking Hobbs. Unless they're doing that, they're not.
That'd be dope, actually.
I don't know. I always get it in my head that sometimes they're like, whatever, we'll do it. Who cares? So maybe they will, but they're not gonna. But it's a fun match. Hobbs was great. Ricochet was actually pretty good in it too. Other than that, I don't think really anyone stuck out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which, like, I know it's hard to compare it, but I at least think about the one at All In, and that's probably the best one they've done. Because, like, it's not just Nigel's debut. Like, everything he did was awesome. Everyone he squared up against was great. It wasn't just Ricochet's debut. Ricochet was great. Hangman went on a tear. Hangman and Jarrett had a good run. Like, there was all these things I can remember. And I know that's, like hard to compare because that's their best one. But I kind of have to because I've only done, like, 5 of these. But hopefully the women's one next week is pretty good.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I am too. Definitely. Who do we predict will be in there? Clearly, Statlander, Willow, and Tony Storm will be in it. Serena Deeb.
Maybe Athena is like a little
that'd be cool.
surprise.
Oh, whoa.
I know that's a pretty big surprise, but like, why not? Hold on. I'm gonna look up
I would
what's her
lose my
hometown.
mind. I would lose my mind.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Texas.
Julia, Hayter.
Maybe
I thought you were talking
Saraya
about-
can return.
I thought you were talking about NXT, Julia. I was like, I think that'll be a little hard. But yeah, Julia Hart would be fun. Jamie Hayter.
Maybe Sky Blue will come back.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That'd be
damn.
fun. What a Monet. Why not? Throw Monet in there. Have her be like, I'm 4 belts, Monet. Why not be 5 belts?
Yeah, 5 belts. Dude, I want
then,
that. Now I want that.
And then, who pins her but the new rookie Tony Storm? Tony Storm spins Mariah May.
That'd be cool.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this actually now quite a bit. I'm glad they're doing a women's one.
Mm-hmm. Should be fun.
Good going, Tony
Oh,
Khan.
Nyla Rose. I don't know if anyone said that, but Nyla Rose will probably be in it.
Yeah. Maybe returning Yuko Sakazaki or a
Riho.
Riho.
Isn't
Uh,
Sheeta injured? If Sheeta isn't injured, she could be there, but
I think she's good. Yeah, Sheeta should be in it. Yeah, this will be fun actually. Should be good. But yeah, after Hobbs' win, Renee Paquette interviews him. He says Moxley brought him into AEW, but now he's gonna make Moxley his bitch. Ooh. Then we get a Jeff Jarrett interview with Ian Riccaboni. Jeff Jarrett questions if he still has it. He gets interrupted by MJF. MJF introduces himself. He wants his Triple B back and says Jeff Jarrett might be worthy of holding the Triple B. The clock's ticking for Double J to be champ. MJF reveals that Jeff Jarrett's contract is only for one more year because he wasn't wanted for more than that. Ooh. MJF offers to help Jeff Jarrett be champion again, but he wants one favor. When Jeff Jarrett is champ, MJF gets the first shot at the title. Double J calls MJF a one-hit wonder. He's been at rock bottom, but that just presents an opportunity to fight his way to the top. Double J doesn't need MJF and calls him an entitled prick. So MJF, Jeff Jarrett feud? I'm
this might
okay
have
with
been my
that.
favorite on the show now that I think about it, because I kind of did forget about it, but I watched it really quickly. But I'm digging it. It wasn't like the best promo ever, but I liked MGF coming in, and he wasn't just like the people here are smelly in local Townville. He is actually like talking about Jarrett, and like we got some news. Like it's rare when things move forward in MJF feuds these days, but
True.
something did. And I liked Jeff Jarrett's report where he's like, I don't care about you. I like how he called MJF a one hit wonder. I feel like that's something that if they continue this feud, it can kind of stick with Jarrett and he can keep calling it and it'll be good to get under MJF's skin. And I don't know, maybe Jarrett wins. I don't know why we're not doing MJF and Big Boom AJ. That's clearly the bigger money match. But I guess the young rookie upstart Jeff Jarrett can get a shot.
True. Yeah, I did get a kick out of
a little bit.
Who what?
Oh, sorry. When I said young rookie upstart Jeff Jarrett, he went like.
Yeah, no, I did get a kick out of MJF's reasoning too, because he was like, Mox has the belt, and there's Cope, and there's this. He's like, that just sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Why don't you go get the belt? Then I'll just take the belt from you. I was like, that's
yeah.
It's kind of smart, actually. I like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I cannot believe that Jeff Jarrett is like featured predominantly in a, not tippy top storyline, but pretty up there. MJF is pretty important.
Again, I feel like Jeff Jarrett is kind of in that Big Boom AJ sphere, where if MJF does something horrible to him, it could start putting him on the right track, right? Like people really care about Jeff Jarrett right now, and if he's really mean to him, people might feel really sad and they like, oh, I actually hate you, MJF, because he's too over. He's still way too over, and that's not a bad thing, but as a heel, it is.
Yeah, no. What I called Jeff Jarrett the other week, he's AEW's Sami Zayn. Which is weird to think of, but it works.
Yeah. Oh, Jeff Jarrett's so gonna win that title from Moxley. It's gonna be at All In.
And then Christian immediately cashes in.
Well, of course. Come on, I've been pushing that. Like whoever beats Moxley, even if it's Omega, Christian should just beat him. Okay. I know I said I don't want Kenny Omega to lose a single match this year. That's a lie. I want Kenny Omega to lose one match, and it's right after he beats Moxley for the title. Christian catches in, then he loses, and then he beats him whenever. So there you go. Because I got to get my Christian title run.
Yep. I like that a lot. You just got to have these people in your lineage, right? Jeff Jarrett for 30 seconds.
Christian Cage for a week or
a
so.
week. Dude,
Yeah.
how cool would that be? How
It'd be
cool
like-
would that be?
Last year was all about like, oh, we'll do Joe, we'll do Swerve, we'll do Danielson. Now it's Jarrett. Now it's Christian. It's gonna be Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Hell yeah.
Sting.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be so good. I'm
Oh
kidding.
my god. Oh, I love it.
I can't believe I actually do want Jeff Jarrett to win that title. That feels so wrong, but so right.
Yeah, dude, like that would be an accomplishment, man. That would be cool. Go Jeff Jarrett. Love him. And I've decided I'm not calling him Cope anymore. I'm calling him Adam Copeland because I hate Cope.
Yeah, I think I called him Cope, but I was trying to be silly. But yeah, I'm just gonna go for Adam Copeland because it just sounds better. And like I saw something the other day where he was like, "Oh, rated our superstar Adam Copeland's a lot to say, and Bret the Hitman Hart isn't a lot to say too." But like he's always Bret the Hitman Hart, so like
He did another interview too where he said most of the locker room in WWE called him Cope.
so you're not in WWE.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, another one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But-
Let's see. Are his fans cope heads or cope addicts? I don't.
Ooh, they're into that copain.
Oh, I love it. Oh, yeah. Anyway, we get an Adam Copeland segment. He calls out
This might have been my
Moxley.
least favorite thing on the show.
Yeah, it was bad. He says Moxley took out Danielson and Darby, but what really made him mad was they tried to take out his buddies, FTR.
Yeah, I don't care that you killed Darby Allin a lot, who I've teamed with before, and I don't care that you've killed Bryan Danielson, inarguably one of the greatest wrestlers to ever lace up a pair of boots. But you beat up some guys from Charlotte, and that makes me a little grumpy. So I'm gonna come off of my TV set and kick your ass.
Yeah, I there's a lot of things I can abide, like murder, but you kind of roughed up my buddies.
Like FTR got the like weakest treatment. He didn't even mention Orange Cassidy. He said Orange Cassidy sucked, but he didn't mention like I know I joked about the chemicals, but they shouldn't be joking about the chemicals. They should take it seriously. So I don't know. And again, I'm jumping a little bit ahead, but he was like, you know, you think Jay Wyatt and Hangman Adam Page and Orange Cassidy aren't tough enough. And you know what? I agree with you. And it's like, why are we burying these guys? They're not even in this feud anymore. Like, is it really that hard to say, I think they are, I think they're the next generation, but I'm tougher. Like, you can still say you're better, but at least like you don't gotta fucking bury them in the process. And I know it's not a burial. That's a lot, but you're putting them down.
Yeah, true. He says no one has fought through what he did to stand in that ring at that moment. He broke his neck in a match against Eddie Guerrero, which I don't know if you guys know this, but Eddie Guerrero's protege is Mercedes Moné.
Really? I was gonna say, does this mean that old Copey, can hit some Three Amigos and do a frog splash now because he worked a match with Eddie Guerrero once? Is that how this works?
Yeah, he beat him with a broken freaking neck.
Yeah, for 20 minutes after he broke it, and won. He says he had a match with Malakai Black, broke his leg, wrestled 10 more minutes, and won the match. Man, 2 Malakai Black references in one night. Weird.
So good old Cope is bragging that he's an unsafe worker and wants to damage his body even more. Cool. I know it's wrestling, but like I hate the storyline, and I used to like Cope. I just don't like him in the storyline. The stupid Cope shit. And again, it was like, oh, we're gonna hear from the rated R superstar, Cope. And it's like, what? That sounds so like, how do you guys not hear that? It sounds so bad. And when you're having Justin Roberts go, the rated R superstar Cope, like it's that. Okay, Jericho's a smart guy, right? And Jericho has this theorem with wrestling names. It's not his, but he's like, you gotta hear like a crowd chanting it. And it's why he never liked Fandango. Because he was like, how do you announce him as a world champion? You can't say the WWE champion, Fandango. So it's kind of the same thing. The AEW world champion, Cope.
Yeah, it feels anticlimactic.
Yeah, or the AEW champion, Adam Copeland. I think that one sounds a lot better.
Me too. So Moxie's music hits, and him and Claudio and Yuta show up and slowly make their way to the ring. FTR attack Moxley. They all brawl. Marina Shafir throws the briefcase with the belt in it in the ring. Pac hits Adam Copeland with it. Moxley gets a bulldog choke on Copeland. Copeland passes out, and they pull out a plastic bag. I was like, yeah, okay. This is good. Murder. Powerhouse Hobbs comes out and makes the save. The Death Riders run away.
So, a couple things I forgot. First of all, when Wheeler Yuta came out in the gauntlet, but it was just the Death Riders theme, I was like, wow, Packer Claudio, that's a great, like, that's really going to make this seem more.
And then I thought too.
I know. I was like, wow, like, what did I want last week where it's full of big stars and, oh, it's Yuta. Ugh.
I would have popped harder if it was Marina Shafir. I'd be like, yeah, no, I could see she could take some fools out.
And I hate to say it, I'm kind of like, I was so up for it when Jay White hit the Blade Runner on Marina Shafir at World's End. That was great. But then they're like kind of doing it again with Cope. And I was like, I thought that was the whole, like, we already did this.
Yeah.
So now it like, and I'm not saying like, oh, you can't hit women, but it's like, why? Like, are we just going to like, why can't Marina Shafir have a match? This is a wrestling show. But the one positive. One singular positive about this entire segment. You know what it was?
Well, Hobbs.
No.
Pac is back.
Huh,
yeah,
I don't know where the hell he's been, but he's back. That's it. Pac is back.
That was good.
And Hobbs, it's like, yeah, good for Hobbs, but the Death Riders still look like chumps because again, that's a 5-on-1, and they had a chair. I'm pretty sure, like, and they have the briefcase, like. They have like
and Marina Shafir.
I think
in a bag.
I think me and 4 of my friends could take Powerhouse Hobbs with a couple of chairs. It'd be close, but we could do it. So you're telling me 5 trained wrestlers can't take him with weapons? Are you kidding me? And that's not like, oh, we're stronger than Powerhouse Hobbs. That's 5-on-1 with weapons. Hobbs had no weapons. But I'm always going to be mad about this. They're like, oh, it's a tactical retreat. Nah, you're a bitch. And you know it.
Yeah.
I hate this Death Rider storyline so much.
They look like little weenies.
I think they should have tried to put the bag over Hobbs' head, then realized his head's just too damn big.
Yeah. Like the bag rips, and they're like, oh, where's the second one? They're like, we didn't bring it. Also, I know I'm jumping the gun, but why doesn't Kenny Omega care that the world title is held hostage by Jon Moxley? Like, I know his health problems are a concern, obviously, and I'm glad that he informed us on that. But why didn't he go, Moxley, why the fuck do you have my world title held hostage? Like, what are you doing, bud?
Yeah.
Only a couple people are allowed to care about it every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Only 4 people can care about the world title at any same time, and one of them's always Christian. So it's
yeah. Yeah, no, it's not time for that zone and that zone to overlap.
Yeah.
You know, you got the Swerve Strickland zone, which Ricochet is kind of currently in.
Oh, you got the Hurt Syndicate in there too, and they're kind of mingling private parties. So there's your like the Swerve zone, and then there's the Moxley zone, and
Death Rider Island.
Death Rider Island. It is. It's like the Cody verse. It's like the it's the Moxley verse. It's all in its own little bubble. And it just so happens to be for the trios titles and the world title.
Yep. Yeah, what happened to like Garcia and Private Party being all like champions for AEW against the
Well, they won the
Tyranny.
belts. They don't care anymore. Like,
Yeah, they're probably like, man, you really helped us.
Yeah. Turns out he was
Get better.
right.
thanks, Moxley. You believed in us, and now we succeeded.
It was inside us all along.
Anyway, we get a Mariah May promo. She talks about the women's casino gauntlet match. She says the ladies will dance like marionettes. She will cut their strings and burn them alive. I like that. She gets interrupted by Harley Cameron. Cameron wants a hot girl graps match on Collision, non-title. Mariah May says she'll rip her head off, and Cameron mumbles that she will make her feel her wrath.
What was that?
It
Make you feel my
Love
breath.
was a pretty fun promo.
Yeah. There's
Wow.
think of Harley Cameron playing a guitar and singing to Mariah May online. Worth a watch. It's pretty effing funny.
Is Harley Cameron going for being the R-Truth of the AEW women's division?
Why not? R-Truth
it.
wasn't the R-Truth of the men's division. He was the R-Truth of WWE.
Yeah.
So why can't Harley Cameron just be the Harley Cameron of AEW? Or she can be the R-Truth of AEW. But you get what I'm saying. Like R-Truth's humor was just on all parts of the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I am a huge fan of Harley Cameron. I like how good she got at actually wrestling as quick as she did, and I like how freaking hilarious and off the wall she is too. Her comedic chops are great. I think she's good.
Yeah.
So after that, we get the match for #1 spot in the women's gauntlet match. Tony Storm versus Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale. And I wrote, this is the best of the women's division apart from Mercedes Moné. The cream of the crop of the division for sure. They're all great. And Willow does a super cool thing where she catapults Tony Storm's head into Statlander's crotch, into a lady low blow. She calls that move the Nissan because, like Nissan, she creates innovation that excites. Pretty fun.
It was a pretty fun move. The only issue is like I feel like we're already burying this new rookie Tony Storm. Like she's only been on the show for like a month and she's already being treated like a joke. And then later on she takes the pin. Like I'm not digging how we're like it already feels like she's lost her momentum.
Yeah. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Willow and Statlander end up teaming up for a bit against Tony Storm. Willow whips Tony Storm into the corner to inadvertently have Tony do a hip attack on Statlander. Then Willow cannonballs Tony Storm and Statlander in the corner. Willow double German suplexes Tony Storm and Statlander together. Statlander hits Tony with a Wednesday Night Fever for the win and for that #1 spot in the women's casino gauntlet match. Next week, that should be very, very fun.
Yeah.
Tony didn't get the win, and I feel like Willow and Statlander were definitely showcased a little more in this match overall. But she'll be in the gauntlet. Tony will.
Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to this gauntlet. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think who won that Wrestle Dynasty 4-way women's match? Does anyone remember? Was it not Athena or Willow?
It was not.
But
I thought it might have been the CMLL lady, whoever that was.
I think it was Zeus. Anyway, that's not important. Because I was gonna say, like, why is Willow in this? Why isn't she just saying, "I want you"? But It was a pretty fun match. Good for Statlander. Obviously, gets her a nice big win. It's a little weird that they're not it's like they're not really acknowledging the Willow Chris feud. And I know we're well past the Chris Statlander just I'm gonna be face now, but it is still just odd. Like we all kind of moved on because Statlander had 2 great matches with Monet and Willow was doing great too. But we all just kind of forgot, like, oh yeah, this was all about them hating each other. And then they had their
Yeah.
really great Chicago street fight. And then like they're not buddies, but they're not over it. I think Statlander had a promo. I don't know if it was in or like at an interview. I don't know if it was in character or not, but she was like, I want to be friends again with Willow and Orange Cassidy. So it's like we're really just forgetting about all that, aren't we? Which is
Yeah. The Stokely thing just never happened.
And that's like sad because it was such a good unit, the two of them. But we're well past the I'm just bringing it up because they had Willow and Statlander in the same match, and it's like they didn't have any past. It was just like odds. Lady A and Lady B, and that's not who they are. That's Willow and Chris.
True.
Yeah, that did feel weird. Like there should have been at least some sort of acknowledgement.
Yeah. Something, I don't know. But it was a fun match, like no matter what.
Yeah. Every time you get any combination of the 3 of them in a ring, I mean, it'll be great. It'll be really good.
Yeah. So any cool predictions for the gauntlet match? Who's going to win? Who's going to come out? I think
Tony Storm
was mentioned.
Tony Storm gets like a schoolboy roll up on Monet, and that's how she wins.
That'd be cool.
And that's Monet being in it, which is a surprise, and Tony Storm winning it by specifically
beating Monet because she's tried before.
Does Storm win the belt back from Mariah May?
Depends on if like Timeless Tony comes back, if that makes sense. If like she kind of wakes up and is Timeless Tony again, yeah, she's probably gonna win it. But if she's still in the rookie, like I don't know, and that's why I'm kind of like, that makes it an interesting match. I don't know who is winning.
When's the Australia show?
February something.
Yeah. Because if the winner gets the shot at the Australia show, I could see it happening.
It is at the Australia show.
Yep.
February 15th is the show.
Yeah. I feel like they might be rushing that a little bit, but when else do you do that?
I don't know. Like maybe that was like, oh, we're gonna have Tony Storm take some time off or go to CMLL and New Japan, which she did, and then they were like, oh, we should have her come back. But like she can't just be Timeless Tony anymore. I guess she'll go back, like she'll play her old self. Oh, and then Grand Slam's right around the corner. But like she could also just not win the match, and it could be anybody else. But
she could have another match on the card, still be there, not win the title. So.
Having 2 women's matches on a show,
Chad?
My
bad.
Are you some kind of monster? How dare you subject the people of Australia to...
I'm too woke.
It would be fun to have like a Tony Storm little match with like, I don't know, what maybe Willow costs her the gauntlet, and so she's like, I'll challenge you, but that would have to require having multiple women's matches. But then maybe Monet's not going to be there. Who knows?
Yeah. Then we get a really cool interview with Tony Storm. She's not surprised she didn't win. She wasn't ready. Guys.
Mm-hmm.
She's a rookie, but she's gonna keep working hard. Bless her little heart.
Mm-hmm. It's heartwarming to see rookies like just giving it their all and trying their best, and I really hope that Tony Storm does well in her future.
She's just happy to be there.
Yeah.
I can't wait to just be revealed that she's playing a character. Oh my god. Oh, it's gonna be so good.
Again, it's got to be in that match where like she comes out and she's Timeless Tony Storm, and like she takes off the glasses. Maybe she unfrizzles her hair and she's like, I'm timeless now, or something stupid like that. And it gets played out, and Mariah is like, no way.
Where she goes under the ring and like changes her freaking
Outfit.
singlet, and the screen turns black and white when she comes out. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I want it. I want
That'd be
that
pretty
so
slick.
bad. But yeah, love Toni Storm. I think she's still one of the best, most interesting characters in AEW.
Mhm.
Apart from Hangman, she's so cool.
Yeah.
Uh, so that was our main event. Now we get the big return of Kenneth Omega. He's got a new theme, he's got a new entrance. So he does a promo about everything that he went through. They took 2 feet of intestines out of his body a little over a year ago. He checked himself into a hospital, diagnosed with diverticulitis. Doctor said he could have died, and the doctor says he'd be lucky to ever return to the ring. He felt like giving up. Thought that was the safest option, and he felt like he had no purpose. He ended up testing himself in New Japan against Gabe Kidd. The new Kenny is not worried about money, power, or revenge. And Don Callis interrupts. Kenny attacks Don Callis. Archer and Cage end up attacking Kenny Omega on the ramp. Fletcher punches Kenny Omega. Cage punches Kenny Omega in the stomach. And then Will Ospreay comes out to make the save. Ospreay and Kenny stand face to face in the ring. And Ospreay mouths like, I saved you, or something, bruv. So I'm hoping they're going to team up for a tag match. I know we're getting Kenny versus Brian Cage at on Dynamite coming up. So that should be really cool. But yeah, return of Kenny Omega. And I just want to see him be great on my
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah. If this is setting up to like a one-time tag match with Osprey and Kenny versus Takeshita and Fletcher, I'm all down for it. What I don't want is I don't want Omega or Osprey beating Takeshita for that belt. He just got the never open weight one from Japan,
Right.
and it's like I don't like we're just about to get belt collector Takeshita. I don't want him losing, but I also don't want Kenny or even Osprey to lose. But like you do a tag match. Kenny can pin either of them. I'm fine with that. And then they both just move on, right?
Yeah.
Everybody moves on. Fletcher and Takeshita go one way. Osprey, you go the other. Kenny Omega, go towards Moxley. So I'm not like completely against this. I just don't want it to be like a 3-month feud and Kenny Omega wins all the way, or like I just kind of want it to be one month build to Revolution and then call it quits.
Yeah, no, I think yeah, they can just kind of blow through the Callis family. Then maybe I don't know. I feel like Kenny probably should squash Jack Perry somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Then maybe go on to Okada, a slow build to Okada.
The problem is I think people want every single match that Kenny Omega has to be the Gabe Kidd match.
Yeah.
And he's literally said he can't do that. He said he can only do that a couple times a year. So I think this is a pretty smart way because Osprey's pretty popular. And I'm not against the idea of them teaming together. I just don't want it to take too long. And
Yeah.
I don't need, like, we've already seen Omega Osprey. I'm not dying for Omega Osprey 3 right now. I'm not dying for Omega Takeshita 2. Would they be fantastic matches? Of course. I want like Omega Swerve. I want Omega Copeland. Well, even like Omega Hangman. Like Hangman's got a completely new character, like since the last time they even saw each other. Like I think those are much more interesting matches, even though him fighting Osprey and Takeshita again would be good. I don't know. That's my 2 cents. Like I'm up for it. And he had a good return promo. I like that.
Yeah.
And I like the second that Don Callis opened his mouth, Kenny Omega started running
Just
after
right
him.
after him. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
it
is
was.
the point I was gonna make.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad segment, and I'm not against it, but we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I enjoyed Dynamite. I guess a couple things I didn't like maybe was the Copeland stuff. There was no Jericho, right?
No, that's only
Guess I
the matches were announced.
I guess I liked that. The Gauntlet was just okay. I had a lot higher hopes for that. And I'm really digging Jeff Jarrett right now.
Yeah, I think Jeff Jarrett MJF was my favorite part. I thought Briscoe was really good. All three women, Tony Storm, Willow, and Chris were all great. And then I think I was just really, really excited about the Gauntlet match, and it wasn't what I wanted, but that's okay. It was still fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would have not liked or would have preferred the Undisputed Kingdom to not be in it and put some more interesting cats in there.
Yeah.
Just something about that fucking theme music, Kingdom, and I'm immediately I'm not into this. Like, I don't know if it's like a weird minor key that's in or something. Just I like the second it fucking hits, and I'm just like, I'm good.
It's like the brown note for the Don Callis family.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh man.
Yeah.
There's a reason Adam Cole still comes out to it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like Judas for Jericho. It's like the only reason he's still over.
When Roddy came out, I thought it was going to be Wardlow.
I don't know. I was like, oh, it's Roddy. And I was happy to see Roddy because I still like Roddy, but I'm like, oh, that's it. Like, I feel nothing about Kyle O'Reilly. I feel nothing about Adam Cole. They kind of just take time up on TV.
Yeah.
Anyways, we want to talk about these South Korean awards or what? They're great.
Yeah.
I'll go quick. Do you guys want to hear best too? Because it's not as interesting. Or do you just want to hear worst?
Give us the best too.
Okay, we'll start with best. I will say, if I can guess anything about the South Korean internet wrestling community, they're very more leaning towards WWE than AEW. But it also wasn't the greatest year for AEW, so I'll give them that. But best male wrestler, Cody Rhodes. Best female wrestler, Liv Morgan, which is already kind of like, I'm not against it, but there was also like Tony, like Rhea Ripley, Bailey. Like, I know they all didn't have fantastic years. At least Tony did, but like, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Best team of the year, Solo Sikoa's Bloodline, which is a little interesting.
That's weird.
I don't know if I'd. It's one of those like, I don't know if I'd agree with it, but I also don't know anything better off the top of my head. Best babyface of the year, Cody Rhodes. Best heel of the year. Do you have any guesses on who the best heel of the year was? We had The Rock. We had Moxley Drew, Solo Sikoa.
What is wrong with Korea?
I know. Best champion of the year, Cody Rhodes. Best worker of the year, Cody Rhodes. Best match of the year, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. It's that I'm like, all right, I'm a pretty big Cody Rhodes mark. That was not the best match of the year. There were so many like Will Ospreay had 5 matches better than that match, and I don't like Will Ospreay, and I'm willing to say
his TV matches were better than that.
But I don't get me wrong, I love Roman. That wasn't even the best Roman Reigns and Cody match. The best one was 39. That one was spectacular. Anyways, best segment of the year: Rock and Roman and Cody and Seth at the WrestleMania 40 kickoff. That's where Rock slapped Cody.
Yeah,
that was I remember watching that live. That was pretty kick-ass. Best moment of the year: Cody finishes the story. I can't disagree with that. Best feud of the year, Punk and McIntyre. Can't disagree with that. Best catchphrase, I believe in Joe Hendry. Interesting.
Yeah, okay.
Best newcomer on the mic, Jacob Fatu. Best mic worker of the year, CM Punk. Best non-wrestler of the year. And you know what sucks? That dumb Nigel McGuinness had to start wrestling again. So now he won't win this every year. But it was Triple H, which... I wouldn't. I think I like Nick Aldis better, but like whatever. Most improved wrestler of the year, Solo Sikoa. He has been improved, but like I don't know if he's the most improved. Most notable wrestler for next year. So like who should you look out for? Jacob Fatu. I like that.
Yeah,
Best
he's
move.
pretty fantastic.
Best move of the year. Any guesses on the best move of the year? I'll give you a hint. It is WWE.
Crossroads.
No, it's somebody on Raw though. I know that doesn't narrow it down for Dave. Bronson Reed's Tsunami.
Okay.
Like, I think what got it over was he would hit it like 6 times in a row, and the fans would just go crazy. So I'm okay with that. Best gimmick of the year, Joe Hendry.
No.
Okay, this is kind of funny. Because the worst news of the year is hilarious. It made me laugh. But apparently the best news of the year was just WrestleMania 40. That's just the best news this year. It's WrestleMania 40.
It's happening, guys.
Yeah, I think we knew before 2024. Best theme of the year, so the best song, I Believe in Joe Hendry. I it's not my favorite, but it did go trending on actual legitimate music charts, so I can't really disagree with that. Best brand of the year, WWE Raw, which it's like it was not like a great year for anyone, so I kind of get that. Best event of the year, WrestleMania 40, which I didn't even know if I agree with that. Like I liked WrestleMania 40, but it wasn't my favorite. Best part-timer of the year, CM Punk. Best booker of the year, Triple H. Best main event of the year, obviously Cody and Roman at WrestleMania 40. Best face turn, Roman Reigns, which he didn't turn face. He just stopped beating up Cody Rhodes. And best heel turn, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, which I think that's a pretty good late game one. Best entrance, any guesses?
Bang Bang Gang.
Course.
No, it's Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
All right, so that I feel like that sets. They're a big fan of Cody, big fan of anything Bloodline.
Anything WWE, basically.
Yeah.
They're a fan of.
I don't think there was anything. I don't think there was anything. Really
Solo Sikoa, that stuff baffles me.
Yeah, let's see. The only positive AEW stuff this year, which there has been good AEW stuff. I don't think there's anything.
Nothing that you mentioned.
Yeah, there's literally not anything. Holy crap. I never even realized that, even though I just read it out. All right, you want the worst stuff. The worst one is funny.
It's all AEW.
Worst male wrestler, Jon Moxley. Worst female wrestler, any guesses?
Monet.
It was Monet, which I kind of agree with and kind of don't. She did pick it up in the latter half, but it was a pretty shitty first half.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I don't have a better answer. Worst team of the year, the Young Bucks. Worst babyface. This one's funny. Worst babyface of the year, Jon Moxley. Worst heel of the year, Jon Moxley. Worst champion of the year, IWGP champion, Jon Moxley. Worst worker of the year, Jon Moxley. And then we finally get worst match of the year, Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso. Dude wipes.
I don't know, man. I think Moxley and Naito could have been on there.
Oh, it so could have. Like he could have had another Moxley on there. Worst moment of the year, Jon Moxley choking Bryan Danielson with a plastic bag. Worst feud of the year, Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley. Worst catchphrase of the year, Death Jutsu by Jon Moxley. I didn't even know that was his catchphrase. Worst newcomer of the year. You're not going to guess it in a million years, but who do you think was the worst newcomer according to South Korea in 2024?
Tony Storm.
Killer Yuta.
Kazuchika Okada. I think newcomer is like new signee, but like he's not the worst. Like I feel like you could say like Lashley.
There is a Korean Japanese thing there.
Yeah, but like why wouldn't he win all these other awards?
Yeah,
like he does lose one more. He gets worst mic worker of the year, Kazuchika Okada, and that I kind of get. because he is just saying bitch, but it's working for me. Like Okada doesn't really need to cut a promo right now. Worst non-wrestler of the year, Tony Khan. Oh, that was fun to see. Most overrated of the year, Jon Moxley. Most underrated of the year, Chad Gable. They had something.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. It's called the Christian Awards. It must mean like weirdest moment of the year. I don't know, but it was Chad Gable being dead from Wyatt Six debut.
Yeah, that was fun and weird.
Worst move of the year, Jon Moxley sleeper hold. Worst gimmick of the year, Jon Moxley. Worst news of the year. Does anybody have any guess on what the worst news of the year? And this one I do agree with. Don't think like lawsuit with Vince. It's not that. It's not anything we did WWE. It's AEW, and it's nothing to do with like an injury.
Jon Moxley
airing the CM Punk Jack Perry.
Yeah, it's the airing of the all-in security footage. I saw that and I was like, okay, maybe this list is a little based.
Yeah.
The worst theme of the year, it's the new DIY theme. You probably know it better, Chad. Every podcast I listen to just says it's dog shit, so that's all I know. Worst brand of the year, AEW, which I think TNA had a worse year, but like whatever, they don't count. Worst event of the year, this is WrestleDream, and that's why I was like, that wasn't even like nowhere near the worst pay-per-view of AEW that year, but like it's because of the worst main event of the year, Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley at WrestleDream. Worst booker of the year, Tony Khan. Any guesses on worst part-timer of the year? And here's a hint, it is also AEW.
Part-timer.
I was kind of shocked, and it's like it's more so relevant now with the last couple of weeks of Dynamite than I feel like it was last year.
Adam Copeland.
It's Adam Copeland. They did say Adam Copeland. Worst face turn? Adam Cole. That's a pretty good one. Worst heel turn? Jon Moxley. Botch of the year. I didn't even remember this. Adam Page sneaks out early during Jay White versus Christian Cage, October 16th, AEW Dynamite. How do you even remember that? Like, I don't remember really any botches last year, except for maybe like, oh, they didn't kick out, but like whatever. And then last and most certainly not least, worst entrance, Jon Moxley.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and not even remotely care about any of their.
I thought it was
funny.
So funny how it's
Jon
Moxley, Jon Moxley, Jon Moxley, Jon Moxley, Jon Moxley. And then it's like the all-in footage. And I'm like, well, has Jon Moxley had a good year? No. But does he deserve every single negative award? No. He hasn't been like completely awful. At least the start of the Death Riders gimmick was fun. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like
I'll stick with my PWI awards.
That's typically, I think that's probably the best one.
They're totally fair, like unbiased.
Yeah.
Like there's clearly a hatred of AEW in South Korea.
Which is weird. Like it's
maybe they don't get it broadcast to them and they just were like,
yeah, it. Yeah. It's their IW, like their internet wrestling community. So you expect it to be more hardcore, but like they're so much more casual, but that's for them, you know? Anyways, Collision, baby. Oh, wait, we're not watching Collision anymore, so we don't care. Dynamite, baby. We got Mox and Hobbs, Omega Cage, Christian Cage and Hook, and then the women's gauntlet battle match. So that should be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the last thing that I have to yap about.
Dyna Nitro.
Bam, 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 where once again, if this is the first time you're joining us for Dyna Nitro, it's where I look at the number of Nitro that's corresponding with the Dynamite we had. So it was Dynamite number 275. And we just go over the card and we talk about it. And we just go, isn't Dynamite better? Because no matter how bad Dynamite would have been, it was probably better than the Nitro. Anyways, this one is happened on the same day as Dynamite, which I don't think we've had yet. It's always been like a month behind, but maybe Nitro took a month off or something. Anyways, this is the January 8th, 2001, so 24 years ago. St. Paul, Minnesota, USA had a crowd of 4,500 people. It was live. And unlike Dynamite, they had Tony Schiavone there and Scott Hudson and Stevie Ray. Starting off, we have Chavo Guerrero Jr. defeats Shannon Moore. 5 minutes and 54 seconds. That's a pretty lengthy one, right? We'll just get started with them. Big Ron with Heavy D defeats the Cat with Miss Jones. I don't know any of that shit, but how long did it go?
3:12.
72 seconds.
2:43. So that was a mid-match. This is a singles match. So Billy Kidman with Conan, Rey Mysterio, and Tigress defeated Lance Storm with Elix Skipper, Major Guns, and Mike Awesome. Apparently everyone was just at ringside for this one. A lot of people. How long did this match go?
2:12.
5 minutes, 4 seconds.
4 minutes, 7 seconds. Pretty close. Next up, Sid Vicious defeats the Franchise in a crisp, clean 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Dwayne, it's not Dwayne, it's Dwayne, Bruce, and Goldberg defeat Chronic. How long did this one go? This is Goldberg, right? Goldberg in late WCW. How long did this one go?
Teaming with who? I've never heard of this person.
Dwayne Bruce.
Never heard of him. Let's do 5:09.
47 seconds.
So I'll tell you the minute. He wrestled as Braun the Leprechaun. He's only 5'8". Like, I know that's short for wrestling, but like, come on. It was 3:52. Bit of a long match. Okay. So now we have the Minnesota Massacre Last Man Standing 4-way match. Diamond Dallas Page and Kevin Nash defeat Chuck Palumbo and Sean O'Haire. And then there's little notes that say Kevin Nash eliminates Sean O'Haire at 3 minutes and 27 seconds. And then Diamond Dallas Page eliminates Chuck Palumbo also at 3 minutes and 27 seconds. So I think this was some kind of like tag team match. And I'm guessing they just beat him at the same time, which is pretty lame for like how do you end a last man standing match in 3 minutes and 27 seconds? Well, that's the power of WCW, baby. And then I feel like WCW World Heavyweight title match, no less. Scott Steiner versus a certain Jeff Jarrett, and they wrestled to a no contest. How long did this one go?
3:59.
58 seconds.
5:08. You're pretty close, Chad. You just put the 0 in there. If you did your 5:04, you would have been so close.
Yeah.
So we're in the death throes of WCW.
We're in 2001, right?
Yeah, we're in 2001, and I think it ends.
Dude, April.
Yeah, holy crap, it's gonna end soon.
Dude, Dynamite is about to surpass Nitro.
We got 4 months.
There might be a chance that Nitro is gonna end on the day of Dynamite airs.
Whoa.
Wow.
Because if it's on a so it was March 26th, 2001.
Oh,
So we're gonna see March 26th, 2025 is on a Wednesday. So the last March 26th, the anniversary of the last Nitro, is going to be on a Wednesday.
I wonder if AEW is going to be able to slip that in any way. Like, I know they can't say it, like WCW.
That actually might be the day they pass it. Because if we're on track, right, with Nitro and Dynamite, we have the same amount. I think, holy crap. All right. This is going to be great. It's going to be great.
Great.
Rip Nitro.
Man.
It was nice knowing you.
Yeah, I love Nitro. It was my jam, dude. 1998. I remember it was really good. Then it went bloop, dropped off.
Yeah. How these go, unfortunately. But it was fun while it lasted. Hopefully, we never have to have conversations like this with AEW where we're like,
Right.
that was fun while it lasted. Like, as much as I complain about AEW, or I might, it is so nice to have an alternative. And, like, I hate to say it, that Raw has made me appreciate just about everything I didn't like about AEW. Like, oh, I was excited to see Will Ospreay, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want a Will Ospreay match right now." After like, it's not like the wrestling was bad, but like I just want to
Right.
see some action right now. And Will Ospreay's the perfect guy to do it. And it's not like, oh, it makes all their bad stuff go away. Like, no shit, the Death Rider storyline is still pretty bad, but it's nice to have that alternative. And I think if they just like settle down and they stop trying to be like WWE, because right now, if they try to be like WWE, AEW is going to get really bland. And I don't want that. I don't want a bland AEW.
Nope. No, yeah, Dynamite flew by for me after watching that Raw, and just like we spent a lot of time chit chatting because like nothing was happening.
We were talking about Dynamite most of the time. Or like, oh, like, what are they going to do in that gauntlet match? That'll be cool. Like, we were just talking about anything but Raw, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. Hopefully next week is better. At least they'll have Penta there. But also, like, I'm probably not gonna watch it because I just don't really need to.
I'll have a clip of it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Penta has debuted in WWE on Monday Night Raw. And it'll get 100,000 likes, and that'll be that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think they're gonna drop off hard after the first one. Like just maintaining that for the foreseeable future. How I don't think they're gonna be able to like capture an audience. Like who are they gonna bring in? Hulk Hogan every week? Undertaker? Like
Well,
Boo.
they didn't even say like the genius thing would have been like, oh, John Cena's first match on his retirement tour is next week. Like,
Right.
at least try to carry the momentum, but like they're not even trying. I think WWE is a little too overconfident right now, and we might see some of their stuff kind of taper off, but it might not like change anything because the crowds are still going to go crazy, at least for now. I think that's why I keep joking about it, but like unironically, them booing Hogan was so nice to see. And it's not just, oh, I hate Hogan. It's like, at least the fans aren't all that dumb, right? They're not going to eat everything WWE shoves down their throat. And this is coming from someone who still likes WWE, but it was nice to see that.
Yeah.
So,
All right, all right. Yeah, looking forward to Dynamite for next week. You'll have to come up with Chandler a retro view for us to watch. And yeah, I can't really think of anything else. I think that might do it for our show today.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah. I don't have anything else to add. Only don't forget everyone out there, hit that like button with your elbow bow. Take your opponent, powerbomb 'em right into that subscribe button. We want your support. We appreciate your support. And don't forget, leave a comment. Doot, 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 doot.
Are you sad that they didn't have the Pointer Sisters this week? Or are you excited about, is he going to have ABC by the Jackson 5 next? Like, that Tony Khan's got his finger on the pulse of music, baby.
I think they should do I know what boys like. Na, 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 na.
Girls just want to have fun. Oh, and it's like Moxley choking out Danielson and like all the bloodiest death matches they can like there's no women. Obviously you wouldn't put women on this one. Girls just want to have fun. Brian Danielson like
Yeah, I want that. I want that bad. Oh, anyway, yeah, Dynamite was so much better than Raw, in my opinion. Raw had its moments. Rhea Ripley was good, and Liv Morgan. Punk and Rollins is pretty good. Uh, Cena was good, but man, that was like 25 minutes of good stuff.
Yeah, 25 pretty good minutes that I'm glad I saw compared to like 3 hours of just like and like even the other two matches, like I love Drew and Jay, but they just didn't have a great match. I hate to say it, I love them both, but it just wasn't a good match. But at least Dynamite was fun to watch. It wasn't my favorite episode ever, but I enjoyed it. I think I even enjoyed it more than like last week, because last week had that long ass main event with like the Death Riders and
True.
FTR, and I just like my brain went numb. But this one was pretty fun.
Yep. Yeah, keep it up, Tony. Uh, Dynamite's doing all right. It's doing okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. South Korea might vote you as the worst booker again, so you better step it up, bud.
Better
I
step
think
it
they're headed
up.
in the right direction, though. I think they've kind of gotten over the early 2024 hump, because that stuff was just not awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just what if I'm sitting here right now, what's one thing I want for AEW in 2025? I'm not kidding. Like make Kenny Omega the tribal chief of AEW. Just push him as like put
Yeah.
him at the top and like do the Moxley storyline, but not so heavy-handed, where he's just like, yeah, come on, let's go, powerhouse Hobbs, let's go main event a pay-per-view, and like Kenny just beats him, and it's like ooh, and then it like happens again and again and again, and like finally it gets to a point where like somebody has to go crazy, and it's like I don't know, like that I think tells a better story other than Moxley and his goons kind of like beating people up. Like I know that it's wrestling, but like at least right now, if they want like a good AEW year, like you need like a good wrestler to like champion your company. And I think that's got to be Kenny Omega right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to have that feeling restored on Wednesday.
Hashtag.
Uh Seeing Kenny Omega on AEW television in a match is gonna cement my like, okay, we're back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. Yep. I need it. I need that AEW feel. So looking forward to it. A lot of people are rooting for AEW to die. Sorry, guys. I don't think it's gonna anytime soon.
TNA can't die. There's no way AEW won't die. There's more money involved.
Yep, a lot more. Yeah, they're getting like 1.5 million a week now or something, or for every show, like more than they did before. Actually making a profit now, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. I don't
so
want WWE is very much resting on its laurels, so I would want AEW to be a little bit more aggressive. And by that, I don't mean talk about WWE more. No, just like focus on your own stuff. We don't have Rampage anymore, so that's at least a whole hour we don't got to book. So hopefully that kind of like eases up and makes it a little bit easier. But I don't know. I am hopeful for this year, and a big reason for that is Kenny Omega's back. But I mean, Takeshita's still champ. Well, Osprey's gonna have a good year. Hopefully, Okada's probably gonna have a good year. I mean, I look back at last year and I'm like, it wasn't my favorite year for Osprey, just because I didn't like that MJF feud. But like, the ceiling's still the limit. Like, the sky's the limit for that kid. He's gonna go far. So
this
Yeah.
year and probably a little bit into 2026, I want Kenny to be champion for a period. I want Hangman to get it back. I want Swerve to get it back, and I want Osprey to be a first-time champion. All that
and
needs to
then
happen in the next
Christian
year and a
waits
half.
for Osprey to win it, and then he cashes in.
Yep. Yeah. Whew, yeah. It's gonna be good. I need all that to happen. I think Will Hobbs should be the second ever African American champion.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay. Like, if he's after all those names you just said, I think that's plenty of time to build him up to that. I think I can see it. In the meantime, I think he should be a 2-time TNT champion.
Yep. I don't think Darby should be world champ.
Not right
I'd take
now.
OC over Darby.
I think I would take Orange Cassidy too. I think like I'd be more interested in that than a Darby Allin run, at least right now.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, lots to look forward to. Um, there's a lot that can be fucked up, but a lot of good they can do too. So,
Yeah.
yep, I don't think they're going to die anytime soon. But yeah, I think that just about does it, gentlemen. Enough of that shit.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do the thing.
Ooh.
Do the thing. Do the thing.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye bye.
Did it.